Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. The purpose of this video is to introduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about this research project, and to help you understand the potential risks and benefits of participating.
Let's start with introductions. My name is Michael Johnson, and I'm an associate professor in the Management and Organization Department at the Foster School of Business at the University of Washington, and I study team dynamics and team performance.
I'm Christina Fong, and I'm a principal lecturer who teaches leadership, management, and negotiations at the Foster School.
Other members of our team are Dr. Elizabeth Umphris, who is also an associate professor in Management and Organization. Elizabeth studies justice and fairness in the workplace. You may have also met Yutse Heng, who is a doctoral student in our program and who has been helping on this research project. And finally, one of our former doctoral students, Hannah Johnson, is also helping out with this project remotely. Hannah is an assistant professor in the business school at the University of Idaho, and she studies identity in the workplace. We want you to make sure that you understand our role in this research project. We are working with the Seattle Fire Department because we are interested in building our understanding of how teams and organizations work. We are not being paid by the Seattle Fire Department to do this work. Therefore, we have no stake in the game and don't feel any pressure to deliver any particular results. Rather, we are most concerned with getting an accurate picture of how things work at the Seattle Fire Department and with protecting your individual rights.
To dig a little deeper, our overarching questions for this research have to do with how you think about what it is like to work at the Seattle Fire Department. Our survey is designed to learn more about the values, behaviors, and attitudes that you have that are similar to your coworkers and those that are different. We'll ask your opinion on a number of things, including how you think about your job, what you do at work, and your opinion on any number of issues. In total, we are asking you to complete an online survey that should take about 20 minutes to complete. And it's a mix of multiple choice type questions, such as answering on a scale of 1 to 5, and open-ended questions. It's entirely appropriate for you to complete this survey at work during your normal work time. The time you use towards this project will be covered by Seattle Fire Department.
So, why might you use your time to help us with this research project? Your survey responses will help contribute to research on what makes organizations work better or worse. This helps us to make sure that when we teach future leaders and managers, that we are equipping them with the best possible, most accurate information. Furthermore, the SFD is very interested in the results of this study, and this is one way in which we can make sure that we are giving the Seattle Fire Department leadership an accurate view of how things are going in the organization. The best way to ensure that the Seattle Fire Department has a comprehensive and complete view of how things are going within the SFD is if almost everyone participates in this research project. If only certain people participate, the results that we report could be skewed. Finally, because we will be asking you about issues such as workplace fairness and how you feel about your work, the Seattle Fire Department leadership may use these results to drive important decisions about policies, training, and the like. Again, you can play a role in how these decisions are made by being sure that your voice is heard with regards to how things are going for you at the Seattle Fire Department. We're grateful for the help we've received from the SFD employees, union members, and SFD leadership to craft a survey that we believe will provide valuable and relevant information about how things are going within the SFD.
Of course, it's important for us to recognize that there are indeed some risks that are associated with your participation in this research project. The likely biggest risk to you as a research participant is an invasion of privacy or a loss of confidentiality. So we want to make sure we take some time to discuss what those risks are and the measures that we will take to protect your rights as an individual. First, we want you to know that as researchers, we are also beholden to separate institutional review boards at both UW and the University of Idaho who review our research plans, how we deal with and store the information we collect with you in order to ascertain whether we are upholding our responsibility to responsibly protect you from any risks associated with our research. These institutional review boards, or IRBs, need to approve our research before we can go forward. One of the things that the IRB and our research team puts a lot of thought into is how we protect your confidentiality. No one from the Seattle Fire Department can see information that you provide to us as part of this research project. The first page of the research survey that we send out has a link to the data agreement between UW and SFD, and you can read it for yourself. This data agreement details that our UW research team holds and controls any data at the individual level, and only the members of our UW research team have access to your individual level information. In other words, we will hold confidential all of the information that you provide to us, and we will not release that information to anyone. When we report information back to SFD, we only do it in aggregated form. This means that the SFD will receive information about how groups responded to our survey questions, and we will make groups large enough to protect individual identities.
Let's talk for a moment about what it means for us to report data in the aggregate in groups. This means that when we discuss our research findings with Seattle Fire Department leadership, we will only provide averaged responses across large groups. For example, we might tell SFD that on average, old-timers who have worked at the SFD for more than 10 years feel one way about SFD culture, and newbies who have worked at SFD less than 5 years feel another way. And we might say that employees from Battalion 4 feel differently about SFD than employees from Battalion 5. Now imagine that SFD was interested to see if newbies in Battalion 5 felt differently than newbies in Battalion 4. If there are fewer than 25 newbies who work in Battalion 5, we run the risk of identifiability, and so therefore we would not report our data back to the SFD in that way. Rather, we will only report data that describes differences between groups that are larger than 25 people. We will work closely with HR in the SFD, union members, and other SFD employees to ensure that the groupings we provide are meaningful, but also protect identifiability. But we want you to also be aware that if you are concerned that answering any question within the survey puts you at risk for being identified, you can choose to skip any question in the survey. Furthermore, if you're interested in seeing how we will report our aggregated group data back to the SFD, you can indicate this via the final question in the survey. We will ask you if you're interested in the final groupings that we are creating and planning to report to the SFD, and address your concerns before we share data back to the SFD. If you have any questions about the risks associated with your participation, we encourage you to reach out at any time to our team.
Furthermore, we want to recognize the time that you contribute on our research in a few different ways. First of all, if everyone in your department completes the 20-minute survey, we will give your department a $50 gift card that you can use in any way you like. For example, you could use those funds towards a group dinner, buy everyone coffee or happy hour drinks for everyone in the department, or put the cash in your pockets, whatever you like. In addition to that, every department that reaches at least 75% participation will also be entered into a drawing for a $500 gift card. Imagine what you could use this money on. You could buy a new grill for your station, or a new coffee maker for your office, or throw a huge bash. The possibilities are endless.
Now, of course, we get it that some stations and departments are bigger and some are smaller. So in order to give everyone a fair shot at these amazing prizes, we have worked out with SFD to make the following groups for incentives. Each of the 33 stations is its own group, and the other groups are those folks in arson investigation, Battalion 3, dispatch fire prevention, recruit training, and SFD admin. These are the groups that we'll consider when awarding our $50 and $500 prizes. We hope that this video has been helpful for you to understand the context of our research project, what we are trying to do, and how we will do it. If you still have questions about our research project or want to learn more, we would love to talk with you and hear from you. Please feel free to reach out.
Thanks for watching, and thanks in advance for participating in our research by completing this 20-minute survey. We truly believe that your responses on this survey will play a really important role in helping us to understand what makes organizations work, and will help contribute to the continued improvement of the Seattle Fire Department. Thank you.
Thank you.